So we'll see some more basics. Go to your execute anonymous window. Right. So how to print a statement in Apex? So to print a statement in C, we use printf. Right? If you give printf statement and give something in the strings, then you can print that statement. Right? And what we use in Java, we use println. So this is the statement we need to use to print something in Java. So what we have to use in Apex to print a statement? So for that we have system.debug. If you use system.debug, you can print whatever you are giving in the system.debug statement. So welcome to Apex programming. Okay, so if you are giving this one, let me go and execute this statement. Click on execute. Okay, so where you can see your output here, so you can see the button logs here. If you click on this, you can see this. Okay, right, so this is success, there are no errors and the execution is completed successfully. Right, click on this. So something will be displayed like this. You don't need to worry why this much of statements have been printed. Okay, so this is the total execution process. Right, you don't need to worry about it. If you wanted to see your output statements, if you wanted to see your system.debug statements, click on debug only. Right, see, welcome to Apex programming. Okay, so this is how you can use your system.debug statement to print something in your output. Right, let me show you with one more example. So you can use Control E as a shortcut to open anonymous window. I just clicked on my Control E. Okay, right, let me go and write some more statements. System.debug. Apex is a tightly coupled programming language. I guess you know what is meant by tightly coupled. Right, so now click on execute, and again see we got here. Okay, so the status is success. Right, so click on this. Now you will be seeing two statements in your output. Click on debug only. See here. Okay, so next, what is the difference between execute and execute highlighted here? See, uh, mostly you'll be using your developer, this execute anonymous window to practice something, to see how it is going to work. Okay, so now what I do is I will select only one statement. Right, and if you click on execute, everything whatever it is written in the execute anonymous window will be executed. Right, but if you click on something, if you highlight something and click on execute highlighted, then see, if you click on debug only one statement you can see, welcome to Apex programming. Okay, so system.debug statement is used to print something in the output, and this execute anonymous window, if you click on execute, the total code what we have written in the execute anonymous window will be executed. If you select something, if you highlight something and click on execute highlighted, only the highlighted portion is going to be executed. Okay, right, next, let me explain some of the basics. Okay, so right, I will take some account number, integer, it is not a case sensitive language, nothing to worry about your case. Okay, string name, or else take customer name. Every statement should be ended with a semicolon. Okay, so now I am going to assign values to the variables. How you can assign values to the variables? Account number is equal to, as it is integer, give some number, and customer name. See here I am using small c here and this is capital C here. Okay, so if that is Java, then you are going to get some error. Okay, so some syntax error you are going to get, but here you won't get any error. So now this is a string, right? So you need to give in the quotations, you need to give the name in the quotes, right? So John. Okay, now I want to print these variable values in my output screen. For that, system.debug, the account number is, okay, so take the variable name. So if you take the variable name, then whatever the value in the account number is gets printed. See, this is to show you that this is not case sensitive. Here again it is capital N and I'm using small n. Okay, right. So now you can see your account number in the output screen, and let me print this name also, system.debug, the customer name is, okay, so take customer name, the variable name is customer name. Okay, again I have taken different, n is capital here but I have taken small. So let me see, click on execute, no errors. If you got any errors, then you can see errors here itself. So click on this. Now click on debug only. The account number is this one, the customer name is John. Okay, right. Control E shortcut to get the execute anonymous window. Right. Now what I do is I remove this semicolon. Now definitely I will get some error, and let me show you how you can handle the errors. Expecting a semicolon found EOF. Okay, so expecting a semicolon where at line 9. Click on OK. Sorry. So see here, you have to give the semicolon here, then it works perfectly. And again see, I will remove semicolon here. Execute. Expecting a semicolon found customer name at line 5. At line 5 it found customer name, but it has to have semicolon before this. Click OK. See, give the account, I mean semicolon at the account number. Okay, now remove the quotes and click on execute. Variable does not exist John. The compiler is unable to understand what John is. Okay, the compiler is not unable to understand what is John. It is not a variable. Okay, but if you are taking it as a string, then you need to take it in the quotations, then you won't get any error. Right. So what I do is I give integer here, or else I give strings here. This is a number and the number value I'm giving in the strings. Execute. Illegal assignment from string to integer. Illegal assignment from string to integer. Okay, so actually your variable is a integer and you have to give the integer value, but you are giving something in the quotations. So whenever you are giving something in the quotation, whether it may be having anything, whether it may be purely numbers, but that will be treated as a string. If you are giving something in the quotations, that will be treated as a string, even though you are using only numbers in the string. Okay, so what it is saying, illegal assignment from string to integer. You have defined a variable of type integer, but you are assigning a value of string, right? So that is why it is giving you this error message. So if you want to comment any single line, then you can use this. Okay, now this is the color is changed. See again, now it is of different color and now it is of different color. That means if you are giving two slash forward slashes, then this statement will not be compiled. Okay, that we call it as commenting. You are commenting a line, means that line will not be compiled by the compiler. Okay, so basically we got error, right? Illegal assignment from string to that. Now we are going to get different number. I mean, we won't get any error now because this line is commented, right? Click on execute. No errors, right? Click on this one. So now a default value will be assigned to your account number because you have not given any value to your account number. Okay, your account number is null because you have not given any value. See here in your code, you define a variable account number, but you have not given any value to it. So that is why the default value is printed, that is null, right? And right, if you want to comment multiple lines, I want to comment multiple lines. In that case, how you can do that? So to comment multiple lines, forward slash and star. See, the total lines color is changed and I don't want these two lines. Now I can print star and slash. See here, the color is changed. That means only these two lines are commented now. Okay, so we have defined two variables. One is of type integer, one and other is of type string, but we have not assigned any values. Okay, because we have commented these two statements, right? Now the default values are going to print it. I mean, the default values will be printed in the output. Okay, so click on execute. Debug only. Two values are null. Okay, right. Next. So let me do some basic mathematical calculations. Okay, so integer first name, you can give any value. You can mean uh, like you may get a doubt what kind of name I should give here and here. So you can give any, but that should be user friendly. Anyone who is referring to your code should be able to understand for what reason you are defining a variable. Okay, if I am defining variable, like I am taking account number, if I take x here, integer x, then people will be confused what x is doing here, for what the developer has used this x. So that is why always follow the naming conventions so that other people can easily understand your code. Okay, right. Integer first number, integer second number. Okay, so give some value and take result also, integer result. Okay, so assign some values. First number is equal to some 100 semicolon, second number is equal to 200. Right, now I want to add these two and store the result in the variable result. Result is equal to first number plus second number. Okay, now print this system.debug. The addition result is, so in which variable the result is stored? In result, the addition result is stored, right? In this variable, this result is stored, so that is why I'm taking result here. Okay, so now I want to select this particular code and I want to execute this one. Click on execute. Illegal assignment from string to integer. So why I got it means I clicked on execute. Now click on execute highlighted. Whenever you are selecting something, you have to use execute highlighted. If you click on execute, then what happens? The total code, whatever you have written in this anonymous window, will be executed. Now click on execute highlighted. No errors found. Okay, click on debug only. The addition result is 300. Okay, right. Next. So why I need these many lines? There is, I mean, for just doing a simple addition, I have used so many lines. So whenever you are depending this first number, again you don't need to write this integer and all. So in one integer statement, you can depend all the variables. Give a comma, first number, second number, result. This way also you can define your variables. Okay, so first number is equal to 100, second number is equal to 200, right? Now what I do is I have written two lines here. Okay, so if you wanted to make it to a single line, then you can make. Okay, but now it is fine. We'll see that in the later sessions. You may get confused, right? So again execute this. Right, the result is 300. Okay, so always your aim is to reduce the lines of code. You should not write more number of lines. Okay, so always try to reduce the number of lines. Right, now what I do is, same way you can do, multiplication, subtraction and all. Okay, so take one more result. Result is equal to second number minus first number, and the subtraction result. Now execute this piece of code. Okay, the subtraction result is 100, right? Again, multiplication. So for multiplication you can use star. Okay, so okay, so select this piece of code and execute highlighted. Click on this and click on debug only, multiplication result. Okay, same way you can also have your division result. So try to divide. So how you can do that? Okay, so this is your division result. So these are all some of the very basic concepts. Okay, so I am explaining this because you will understand so how we can use Apex. So these are very basics, and you won't be seeing this kind of examples in your real time, but to understand those things we need to have the basics, right? So that is why I'm explaining here. Okay, so these are some of the basic mathematical operations you can do in the Apex. Any doubt? Okay, so see here, I wanted to get some error, right? I have removed m here, and we have not defined this variable. Okay, because we have first name but we don't have this variable. We should have m in the end. Let me see what kind of error I'm going to get. Variable does not exist. Okay, so it will show you the line number also. You don't need to worry. Line 16. At line 16 you have used this variable, and this variable is not existing. Okay, so what is tightly coupled? You need to define a variable before you are going to use it, right? So that is why we have not defined this, but we are using it. Okay, so that is the reason we got error. Now you will not get any error. Okay, right, so that error will be removed now. That's it, right? So this is how you have to learn, you have to practice. So all right, we'll see one more example of the same kind with the basic values. Right, we'll see a formula. We have seen this formula, the same formula we have seen using formula fields. We'll see this one now. Okay, we know how to calculate simple interest, right? So nothing to worry, you don't need to write this code. Okay, I'll be sharing this to you. just focus on the class. You don't need to write anything because everything I'll be sharing to you. Right. So what is the formula for simple interest? PTR by 100. Principal amount, time, rate of interest. Right. So and simple interest. We need to have four variables of type integer. One is simple interest, principal amount, time, and rate of interest. So first define your variables. So first you need to think in this way. Whenever you got some requirement, you need to think like what kind of variables I need to define first and how I am going to use those variables in the code. Integer. So I'll take just amount, simple interest, time. So time is a keyword here. So just use T. Okay. Right. And rate of interest, ROI. So these are my variables. Okay. So now what I do is SI is equal to. So as you are dividing this with 100, sometimes there is a possibility for you to get your rate of, simple interest as decimal number, right? Okay. So write the formula. Put everything in the brackets. Okay. Now here define the assign some values to the variables. Okay. So now I have defined the variables and assigned the values, right? Okay. And I am defining the formula here and I'm printing the statement here. Okay. So let me highlight this piece of code and execute. See? Okay. You got the output. So do some of, take some of examples like this and practice and let me know if you got any doubts. Okay. So these are very, very basics and definitely you will not see these kind of basics in the real time, but you need to have this kind of stuff to know further details. Okay. Any doubts? Right. So we'll see tomorrow. So practice and let me know if you got any doubts. Okay. Okay. No problem. Any doubts? Okay, right. Thanks for attending.